Shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name for Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being named for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us truth and will well, and salutations to you, hopeful like person's truth and honesty and sincerity. Spit Yahweh Canellis, the spirit power, Yahweh Yahushai. And this lesson is just going into response after watching a movie called The Book of Clarence. Excellent movie, man. Go check it out. All right, as brothers and sisters in this truth, this is a must watch. It really hits home in the heart as far as finally getting the relief of being able to see an image of the correct depiction of how our people look, and our people being the characters or the people of the scriptures visually, and seeing it, and it's so satisfying to watch, man. The whole movie is casted. It's all Israelites in all the roles of the biblical figures. And then there's Edomites casted as well, and they're in the role of the biblical figures in the Bible as well, where they're supposed to be. The Romans, the centurions are all Edomites, and Romans are Edomites, and everybody else, all disciples are Jake, so-called black, Latino, Native American people. So from that standpoint alone, go check it out. Spoiler alert, I might mention a couple things. I don't want to ruin a movie, but basically, what it's about is a guy that, is trying to discredit and prove everything that Yahweh Shai's work was false or a trick. And he ends up becoming a believer. But he became this guy, Clarence. He's a fictional character. He became a very heavy false prophet, preaching lies for money and filthy lucre's sake, and scamming people, getting over on people, stealing a bunch of other stuff, So they had to make this movie this way in order for Esau to not really catch on to what was the real message and actually make it to theaters, because they can't just come out with a movie, with a so-called black man, an entire movie literally being about who the world ignorantly calls Jesus' life. They're not going to do that. Like, you're not going to have a Passion of Christ movie with an all Negro, Latino, Native American cast. That'll just never happen. So this is the closest thing you're going to get to that. So they had to make this movie about this fictional character called Clarence, and they tried to word the movie to where you're following him, but really they threw in there a huge amount of truth of the Bible, especially visual representation. They had who the world ignorantly calls Jesus in there, and he was a so-called black man. Okay? They had Mary Magdalene, a so-called black woman. He was starting to do miracles, and they were showing some of the miracles. They showed a lot of gems in this movie, man, so go check it out. And the fact that this type of movie is coming out now goes to show we further at the end, and the work is definitely being accomplished and has gone forth throughout the earth to send that vibration of the truth of the Bible, man. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ is not a so-called white man, so-called black man, okay, from the tribe of Judah. And all the Israelites were people of color. They weren't crackers, man. That's just the truth of it. So I got a couple scriptures, that comes to mind after watching this movie. This is the book of Psalms 85:11. It says, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven." Truth is coming out of the earth. As a so-called white person watching that movie, it's gonna make you think a little bit, because it's so fitting to see our people in that position playing those roles. Because it's our people that was really going through those things, and even seeing the crucifixion, it's much more makes sense, and you could see it happening. A so-called black man being tortured on that cross versus a so-called white man, So they showed everything, man, and kept it real. You had Jake in the movie, fucking selling drugs, smoking weed, that shit was going on in the ancient world too. That's why the scriptures say, "Lo, they held branches unto their nose, man." The abominations that they do. They blew trees back then too, man. They had, the quality version of today, going to the club. They had that in there, Jake racing and stuff. And ultimately seeing the pure evil in the Roman soldiers against Negroes. It's the same thing with police brutality today. They showed that in the movie. Same thing, man. Truth coming out the earth. So, hey, it sure did accomplish, man. Romans 9:26 is, it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God. Right, man. So same place where they said, hey, look, you're not the people. That's right now in America. You're not the people. You're not the people. Hey, look, we're beginning to be called the children of the living God. Everybody knows that we are the true Israelites at this point. You just got a few smidgen or a speck of people that's holding on to that plantation Christianity shit. They're still bowing down to white Jesus, and they the ones that got offended at the movie. But other than that, the masses know the truth, man. That's why that movie was released. Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are JOOs, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I love thee. Okay, so right now you got a lot of people that in our land over there in Israel, they say they are the JEWs, but they're really not. They've been lying all these hundreds of years. And these people have been the same people that have been oppressing the earth with genocide, rape, robbed, and pillaging, man. Matthew 5:14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is on a hill cannot be hid. It can't be hid who we are no more. We're that light. We bring all the flavor to everything. We bring all the talent for the entertainment and the movie industry and TV shows, The light of the world. You can't hide who we are. We're a peculiar people. Okay? This is the book of Revelation 1, verse 13. It says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. So let's give you a description of who the word English calls Jesus. His true name is Yahushai. It says, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and a girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His hairs were white like wool, white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire. Now, who has woolly textured hair today? Is it a so-called white man or a so-called Negro? Definitely the so-called Negro. Okay, that they call it that coarse hair, the afro. Okay, so right there, this indicates that he's a so-called black man. Verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in the furnace, and his voice the sound of many waters. Right. So why is he looking at his feet? Because he's bowing down, hitting the ground. He looks up, sees his feet. And the brass burning in the furnace is a dark brown color. So that's the complexion of who the word English calls Jesus Christ. Is Yahushua. He's a so-called black man. So, hey, that's just one account. So this movie, it showed a lot, man. I want to try to ruin it for those of you that want to see it, but go peep it, man. Heavy movie. So with that, Lord's will is edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, Tasha truth and will well. Side to Jehovah, truth, sincerity. Shalom.